If you're watching this video, it means something inside you has already begun to change. Even if you can't see it yet, even if everything around you seems still, the transformation you've been waiting for so long is already underway. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what you're about to discover might reveal that your turning point was silently programmed all along, and that the life you've been hoping for is already unfolding. You know that moment when everything around you seems still, when the world keeps turning without you, and yet something burns softly in your heart. A light you can neither touch nor name, but which knows exactly who you are. Perhaps you've tried to ignore it, to convince yourself it was just an illusion, a fleeting desire, or a dream too fragile to be real. But deep down, you feel that it isn't. Imagine your soul as a seed. Not an ordinary seed, but a seed chosen by the one who shapes all things with precision and wisdom. It rests in silence, beneath the dark earth of your trials, the regrets you've carried for years, the mistakes you wish you could erase, the tears shed in the privacy of your nights. It is buried, invisible, but its strength remains intact. Every trial, every disappointment, every time you thought all was lost, all of it has nourished this seed. She grew in the shadows, preparing to blossom at the precise moment Allah decreed. Perhaps you feel broken today. Perhaps you look in the mirror and no longer recognize the person who believed she could control everything, understand everything, achieve everything on her own. You wonder why some prayers seem to go unanswered, why some pains persist, why the path you thought was laid out for you is slowly fading beneath your feet. This doubt, this weariness, this loneliness, this is precisely where transformation begins. Yes, even in your chaos, even in this feeling of abandonment, Allah is working for you. What if I told you that everything you are going through is not a coincidence but a silent preparation? That every night you prayed in silence, every time you searched for a sign without seeing it, every time you tried to stand tall while your heart screamed, all of this was a divine gesture to awaken your soul. Your tears are not wasted. Your regrets are not in vain. Every breath you take in this world, every beat of your heart resonates with a purpose you cannot yet comprehend. Look around you. People come and go, events unfold, and you feel as if time has forgotten you. But this silence, this apparent emptiness, is a sacred pause. It is in this pause that the soul redefines itself, that faith is strengthened, that light begins to pierce even the thickest darkness. It is in these moments, when you feel most alone, that the divine breath whispers to your heart, "Fear nothing. Your turning point is already here." Perhaps you are unaware of the value of what you are experiencing. Perhaps you believe that your failures define you. But look at them with a different perspective. They are bridges, not walls. They are guides, not chains. Every mistake you've made, every step you've stumbled, every time you've thought you weren't enough, all of it was orchestrated so that you would recognize the strength of your soul, so that you would understand that true change begins with patience and silent acceptance. What if I told you that you've already begun to change? That even if you don't see it, even if your heart doubts, the process is already underway. Like an underground river flowing far from the world's eyes, your future is quietly taking shape, nourished by faith, by perseverance, and by that light that never dies within you. You are already on this path, even if you are not aware of it. The transformation is invisible, silent, but inevitable. So listen to your heart. Listen to that inner voice that tells you you are never alone, that every trial, every moment of solitude, every night of questioning, All of it is a sign that Allah is preparing something for you that you could never have imagined. It is in this intimacy with yourself, in those moments when you seem lost and drained of strength, that the truth begins to emerge. And this truth is simple yet powerful. What you are waiting for, this silent miracle, this turning point in your life, this light that will change your world, has already begun. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to force. You simply need to keep walking, even if it's step by step, even if each movement seems light and invisible. Your seed will sprout, and you will feel the strength you never thought you possessed. But before you see it fully, before heaven manifests in your reality, you must remain in this sacred silence, in this transformative patience, in this unwavering faith. For it is here, in the depths of your heart, in these moments of solitude and doubt, that the true miracle is being prepared. Imagine a desert. Not a desert like the ones you see in documentaries, but a desert that lives inside you. A vast, silent space where every grain of sand feels like an ordeal, every burning breath a worry, every shadow a doubt that has haunted you for years. You walk alone in this desert. Your steps are heavy, your heart is weary, and yet something compels you to continue. Not because you must, but because an invisible force whispers to you, keep going. You no longer know how many days or nights you have walked here. Perhaps you have lost track of time. Perhaps you have wondered if this desert will ever end, if the light you have always sought truly exists. And in this silence, in this void that you fear and yet know all too well, every thought seems to resonate more loudly. Why me? Why now? Is this path truly worth it? As you walk on, your eyes catch a spark in the distance, a light. It is faint, almost fragile. You might think it's a mirage, an illusion born of your weariness and despair. But something deep in your heart, something that neither your fears nor your doubts can erase, tells you, no, it's not a mirage. This light isn't simply before you, it's within you. You continue walking toward it. Each step becomes a test of faith. The wind blows fiercely, whipping up sandstorms that sting your face and obscure your vision. But the light remains. Faint, flickering, yet persistent. You feel it calling you, reminding you that all the difficulties you faced weren't failures, but preparations. Every moment of solitude, every night spent praying in silence, every fear you confronted, all of it has led you to this very moment. As you walk on, you notice the sand beneath your feet begins to change. It becomes less hard, more welcoming. The desert that seemed endless gently shrinks, as if the trials themselves bow before the light you now carry in your heart. And as you draw ever closer, you realize that it is not just a light before you. It is an invisible map drawn within your soul. Each step you take toward it reveals a path you had never seen, a way you never knew existed. You pause for a moment and gaze at the sky. The stars seem closer, brighter, and in this celestial silence you hear the voice of your soul. A gentle, yet firm voice that tells you everything you have been searching for outside has always been here. The guidance you have been yearning for, the peace you have hoped for, the miracle you have been waiting for. They are already within you. Your breath slows, and a feeling of warmth fills your heart. You realize that this desert has never been a place of punishment, but a place of transformation. All the storms, all the cold nights, all the moments when you felt alone and lost, All of this was the crucible in which your soul was forged. And this light, this flickering yet unchanging light, it is the sign that your turning point is approaching. It is proof that every step you have taken, even when you thought you were falling, has been guided. Now you observe this light more closely. It is not imposing or dazzling, but it possesses a silent presence that touches you deeply. You feel it inviting you to look within, to discover the patience, faith, perseverance, and resilience that you already possess, even if you didn't see them before. All this desert, all these trials, all these nights of doubt and loneliness were there to teach you an essential truth. You are already on the path to your miracle. And yet, even seeing this light, you know that the journey is not over. The light hasn't yet led you to your final destination. It has simply revealed a reality you were unaware of. The transformation has already begun, even if you don't yet fully see it. The desert is not a place of surrender, but a mirror of your soul. And this light, this fragile yet persistent spark, is proof that you are moving in the right direction. So you continue. Each step is lighter, each breath more filled with gratitude. Even as the burning sand and the wind continue to test you, you know that this desert is now your ally. It teaches you to walk with faith, to persevere without seeing the whole path, to recognize the light even when it seems minuscule. And the further you go, the more you feel that this light is not simply something to reach, but something to awaken within yourself. And as you walk on, a question arises in your heart, more powerful than the entire desert. If this light is already within you, why look outside? Feel it, this weight on your chest. It's not just physical weariness or the worries of daily life. It's the weight of every shattered hope, every tear shed in silence, every prayer that seemed to go unanswered. It's the weight of dreams you thought were lost, paths you believed were closed, doors you thought were locked forever. And yet, this weight isn't here to break you. It's here to prepare you, to mold you, to open you to something your human mind cannot yet comprehend. Feel it in your veins, in your breath. Every night, you turned to Allah in the secret of your heart. Every time you whispered those words, no other ear would hear. Every moment you pleaded, thinking no one was listening. All of it has been heard. Even if you didn't see the answer, even if you didn't feel the immediate peace you sought, every breath, every tear, every beat of your heart was an act of faith preparing the way for this very moment. Do you remember those nights when you prayed until your eyes closed with exhaustion, hoping for a sign, a direction, a glimmer of light? You thought you were alone, but you weren't. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, saw you. He saw your struggles, your fears, your doubts. Every silence you endured, every pain you felt, every fear that dragged you down. All of it was a lesson, a stepping stone toward the change that is already underway. Look back for a moment, even if it's painful. See all the times you felt lost, when you thought life was abandoning you. Those moments weren't punishments, nor were they failures. They were preparations. Experiences meant to sharpen your heart, to strengthen your soul, to show you that light never comes without shadow, that patience cannot exist without hardship, that faith can only shine when it pierces the night. Feel now this strange mixture of pain and strength. You carry in your heart the proof that you survived what you thought impossible. You faced storms you thought would destroy you, and you are still here. It is in this persistence, in this refusal to completely give in to despair, that change begins. What you are waiting for, this turning point in your life, this silent miracle, it is already here. It flows through your veins. It throbs with every breath you take. It is alive in every beat of your heart. And if you could hear your soul whisper, it would tell you, what you have been through was never in vain. Every fear you overcame, every doubt you faced, every moment you thought it was all over, all of it was a necessary step, careful preparation so that you could recognize your own power, so that you could feel the guidance that manifests gently, silently, but surely. Think of all those moments when you wanted to give up, when you thought the heavens were closed to you, that the light would never come. And yet, you are here, still standing, still listening, still able to feel, still able to believe. And this simple fact, this silent persistence, is the sign that your transformation has already begun, that the seed planted in your heart all along is ready to sprout. Now imagine your heart as fertile soil. Every pain, every loss, every tear, every silent prayer has been an input, a secret fertilizer. You have cultivated patience. You have watered faith. You have worked without knowing it to create the space necessary for the light to appear. And it is there, even if you don't yet fully see it. It throbs beneath the surface of your soul, waiting for you to acknowledge it, to feel it, to let it guide your every step. And if you listen closely, you will hear a breath. Not an external breath, but the breath of your heart remembering, of your soul knowing the truth. The change you have been waiting for so long has already begun. Your transformation is underway, even if you cannot yet see it. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to force. You don't need to look for dramatic signs or immediate answers. Everything you have been through, everything you continue to feel, every beat of your heart, every breath, every silent prayer, all of this is living proof that your path is already unfolding. And as you remain there, alone with this weight and this light, a question gently arises. Are you ready to acknowledge what has already begun within you? Have you ever felt your prayers hang suspended in a void, as if no one were listening, as if the heavens themselves were silent? You whisper your words in the night, you cry out your requests in the intimacy of your heart, and yet nothing changes. Nothing seems to happen. You wonder, am I forgotten? Have I failed? Were my efforts in vain? What if I told you that this silence isn't abandonment, but a beginning? That the answer to your prayers will never resemble what your limited mind imagines. Perhaps you're waiting for a spectacular miracle, a sudden opening, a dazzling light that will sweep away all your despair. But reality is subtle, silent, almost imperceptible, because the transformation begins before you even realize it. Within you, in the hidden corners of your soul you thought were forgotten. Feel this truth. Your heart knows. Even when your mind refuses to believe, even when you are lost in doubt, in fatigue, in fear, your heart knows. It knows that every trial you have faced has a reason, that every pain, every loneliness, every tear was in fact a sign. Signs that change is already underway. Subtle hints that guidance is unfolding in your world, slowly but surely. So why do you continue to look outside for what has already begun within? Why do you look around you, searching for a sign in the chaos of the world, when the true miracle is taking place in your own heart, invisible yet powerful? How much longer will you wait for a perfect moment to realize that the light is already here, that it has always been with you, that your prayers, even silent ones, have been heard and carefully prepared? Have you noticed those little synchronicities, those seemingly insignificant coincidences, those encounters, those words, those situations that deep down gently guide you toward what you've been searching for? How many times has life shown you an opening you refused to see, an outstretched hand you ignored, a path you didn't want to take? These clues aren't accidents. They are silent messengers, veiled answers to your prayers, fragments of the divine plan unfolding before your eyes. What if the guidance you're waiting for isn't an external event, but an inner transformation? What if everything you thought you had to conquer in the material world is actually a journey toward mastering your own heart, your mind, your patience, and your faith? How many times have you prayed for peace, for light, for guidance? And how many times have you sought this answer in the world when it was already within your silence, in your lonely nights, in your deepest reflections, and even in your doubts? Look around you, but above all, look within. Your soul already knows what your eyes refuse to see. It knows that what you are going through, this waiting, this uncertainty, this pain, is precisely what is preparing you to recognize the miracle when it manifests. Your prayers have already been heard, but the answer doesn't arrive in the form you imagine. It takes shape in the form you are ready to receive. So ask yourself, are you ready to see that everything you have been seeking outside is already awakening within you? Can you recognize the truth that every step, even hesitant, every silence, even painful, every night of questioning and fear, was a divine preparation? Can you feel that what you thought you were waiting for isn't something new, but something already unfolding, slowly but surely, in your heart, in your mind, and in your life? And if I were to ask you one last question, why wait any longer? Why keep looking for signs outside yourself when you already carry them within? Every beat of your heart, every breath you take, every decision, every prayer, every small act of patience and faith. All of this is the signal, the sign, the answer you've been hoping for. You are already being guided. You are already on your path. You are already being transformed, even if you don't fully feel it yet. So listen to your soul. It speaks to you in the silence, in the solitude, in the intimacy of your heart. It reminds you that your prayers have been heard, that your change has already begun, that the light is there, even when the world seems dark. And every time you doubt, remember, what is within you is real. What is being built within you is real. What awaits you is real. But before you fully see this transformation, and before you realize the full extent of what life is preparing for you, one question remains. A question you must feel in every fiber of your being. Are you ready to acknowledge that the answer to all your prayers was already there, within you, from the very beginning? Think of a river hidden beneath the ice. At first glance, everything seems frozen. The surface is hard, cold, still. You might think that time itself has stopped. Everything is silent, frozen in a world where nothing moves. But beneath this ice, invisible to the naked eye, the water flows. It glides, it advances, it shapes its bed silently, without fanfare, but with a silent and infinite power. Your soul is this river. Sometimes you observe your life and you feel that everything is blocked. Your dreams seem suspended. Your efforts appear fruitless. And each day resembles the last. You believe that nothing changes, that stagnation has enveloped you. But this is only an illusion. The ice on the river, this frozen surface you observe, is only the facade. Beneath it, life goes on. Your heart works, your mind awakens, your faith grows, even in the moments when you don't feel it. Every hardship, every loss, every doubt you faced is like a stone thrown onto this ice. It seems heavy, crushing, motionless. And yet, not even these stones can stop the river. They console, settle for a moment, and the current envelops them, transforms them, and makes them disappear into the invisible flow. What seems to you to be an obstacle, a blockage, or an end, is in reality only a passage, a springboard for your soul, which moves forward nonetheless. Now imagine the sensation of walking on this frozen river. Each step is difficult. The surface sometimes cracks, and you hesitate to move forward. But if you could look beneath the ice, you would see that the water continues to flow, stronger, more alive than ever. It carries fragments of life, experiences, tears, silent prayers, memories you thought were lost. Everything you have lived through, even what you thought were failures, feeds this river. It makes it deeper, stronger, more ready to one day pour into an ocean of light and change. Think about what this means for you. Even when you feel still, even when you feel like the world has forgotten you, that your future is frozen, your soul never is. Every breath, every heartbeat, every sigh you take is movement in this invisible river. Even your silence, your waiting, your doubt. Everything contributes to this flow. Everything builds the strength you don't yet perceive. Look at the world around you. Others seem to be moving quickly, achieving goals, succeeding, shining. And you wonder why you're stagnating, why your heart remains frozen. But what you see is only an illusion on the surface. The real work is happening beneath this ice. The foundations of your future are being prepared in secret, in the depths of your soul. What you believe to be a delay, stagnation, and injustice is actually the silent process of transformation. Now imagine spring arriving. The ice begins to melt. The water you've never seen begins to reveal itself. It shines. It sparkles. It transforms everything it touches. The invisible river becomes a living, powerful, irresistible spectacle. Your soul is doing the same. What you have built in the secrecy of your prayers, your nights, your trials, begins to manifest. What was invisible becomes visible. What seems still begins to change the world around you. And if you could feel this river, feel its current beneath your feet, feel its silent strength that has carried you all these years, you would finally understand that nothing has ever been lost. All your tears, all your doubts, all your lonely nights have nourished this river, have prepared this moment when the light you've been waiting for will be revealed. The ice you saw was never an obstacle, but a protective veil, allowing your heart and mind to prepare for what is about to emerge. Now feel the flow beneath you, the water flowing, silent yet untamed. It knows where it's going, it knows what it must transform. And you are part of that current. Every step, every breath, every silent prayer contributes to this movement. The power is not yet visible to the naked eye, but it is real. It is unstoppable. It is you, growing, preparing, transforming. So look at this mirror, look at the world, look at your fears and doubts, and understand, nothing is still. Everything moves, everything transforms, and your soul, like this river, always moves toward the light, even when you think you are frozen, even in silence, even in invisibility, even in the long nights. The force, awakening within you, will never stop. But before the river fully reveals itself to you, before you see the strength and light you have always carried within you, there remains one question to feel deeply. Are you ready to work on what you have never seen, but which already flows within you? There is a plan for you, a plan that surpasses anything your mind can imagine, a path you cannot yet map, but one that unfolds for you, not against you. It unfolds even when you don't see it, even when you believe everything is frozen, that the world moves on without you, that your prayers remain silent. This plan continues to unfold. It is subtle, invisible, yet orchestrated with a precision that only the one who knows your heart can comprehend. Feel it. Every disappointment you have experienced, every failure you thought was final, every rejection you believed to be the end were in reality disguised guidance. Every silence you have endured, every moment you felt ignored or forgotten, were times when your soul was being prepared for what you have yet to see. Everything you are going through has been carefully arranged, like stars in a night sky that seem scattered randomly, but form a precise pattern when viewed from a distance. Perhaps you've looked at your life and asked, why me? Why is all this happening to me? These questions are natural. Every searching human heart, every struggling soul, every person seeking meaning in their trials asks them. But what you don't realize is that this very questioning is part of the plan. It pushes you to turn your gaze inward, to draw closer to that invisible breath that guides each beat of your heart, to make you feel that you are never alone on this journey. There is a moment in every life when the veil lifts just enough for you to feel the light behind it. It's not yet the moment of full revelation, but a foretaste, a silent indication that what has long since begun is approaching. You can feel that shiver in your heart, that vibration that seems to tell you, fear nothing. Your turning point is already underway. It's a subtle whisper that passes between the beats of your heart and the silences of your nights. Every hardship you faced, every loss you thought was irreparable, every pain that bent you but didn't break you, it was all orchestrated for this precise moment. It wasn't by chance. It wasn't a mistake. Even your tears shed in private, your silent cries in the shadows, your nights of prayer when you thought no one was listening, it was all recorded by the one who sees the unseen and understands the incomprehensible. Everything served to strengthen your heart, sharpen your mind, and purify your soul, so that you can recognize this turning point the moment it arrives. Perhaps you've tried to control your path, to force results, to hasten destiny. Perhaps you've worked, prayed, hoped, and been frustrated by the silence. But that silence is never empty. It is filled with preparation. It is filled with power. It is filled with an invisible rhythm that only your heart can perceive if you listen closely. The plan meant for you is never delayed. It is never lost. It moves forward, invisible yet certain, even when you doubt. Imagine your life as an intricate tapestry. Each thread represents a trial, a moment of solitude, a fear you overcame, a silent prayer, a dream you have yet to see fulfilled. If you observe this tapestry now, it may seem messy, chaotic. But as the plan unfolds, you will see that each thread has been placed exactly where it needed to be. Each pattern formed in silence was designed to reveal the final beauty of your journey. Every difficult moment has been a point of light in the shadows, preparing the picture you are not yet ready to fully contemplate. And now, even if you cannot see it yet, your heart is beginning to feel something. A warmth, a vibration, a shiver running through your being. This is a sign that change is approaching. It's a sign that the strength you thought you were losing, the light you thought was extinguished, the miracle you believed impossible, is now manifesting. You can't see it yet, but you feel it. And this feeling, the silent certainty awakening in your soul, is preparing you to receive what the plan has already laid out for you. What you have experienced so far was not just a learning experience. It wasn't just trials. It was a sacred process, meticulously guided by the one who knows what your heart can bear and what it can receive. All that you thought were detours, delays, injustices, were in reality necessary steps toward the light. And this light is already at work, already within you, waiting for the moment when it can fully reveal itself. Even when doubt returns, even when fear tries to regain control, remember, the plan is moving forward. Even in your loneliest nights,
Even in your moments of weakness, you are being guided. Even if you don't see it yet, your turning point has begun. And as you listen to these words, as your heart feels this silent truth, only one question remains, gentle yet powerful. Are you ready to welcome what your soul already knows is there? Now that you know, your change has already begun. It is no coincidence that you are here listening to these words. Your heart is ready, your mind is ready, and every step you take from today onward will be guided by this strength that already resides within you. So take a conscious step toward this turning point. Breathe, open your heart, and allow yourself to recognize that the miracle you have been waiting for is already underway. And above all, share this light with those who, like you, need to feel that their change is already here.